I'm staying up late the first night of the con to toss out a quick review of the new Predator movie entitled Prey, which premiered on Hulu. I'm hip deep in C2E2 convention business, and I hope to see you guys there. But if you can't make it to the con, you've got a refreshingly good Predator movie to enjoy with Dan Trachtenberg's Prey. Welcome back to ML Miller Frights. I'm ML Miller. Before we begin, please do me a favor and punch that like button down below. Share this video with all of your social media addicted pals. Click subscribe to this channel and ring that bell for notifications. I'll be at C2E2, the Chicago Comics and Entertainment Expo at the McCormick Place just south of downtown Chicago this year. I'm setting up shop in Artists Alley at table W5. So if you're in the Chicago area and want to check out some cool horror comics, swing by my table where I am premiering a new comic compilation of some horror short stories, young and old. It's called Scaries, and it'll be available only at C2E2 this year. Come by the booth, check out my comics, and let's chat about horror. I hope to see you there. Prey is new, streaming only on Hulu. It's directed by Dan Trachtenberg and written by Dan Trachtenberg and Patrick Aison from characters created by Jim Thomas and John Thomas. Turns out the hunts the predator species have taken part in didn't begin with Dutch in that Central American jungle in the 80s. 300 years ago, another predator landed in the middle of Comanche land. Its arrival is witnessed by a headstrong female Comanche named Naru, played by Legion's Amber Midthunder. Though she is put down by the rest of her tribe, she has developed savvy tracking skills and wants to go on a great hunt to prove that she is a true warrior for her tribe. Though she warns the other warriors of the great thunderbird she saw in the sky, they don't listen and charge headfirst into the hunting grounds of the ultimate predator. With much of her tribe decimated, Naru and her faithful dog are the only ones left to battle this predator to the death. While many scorned the idea of a svelte gal that might weigh a skosh over 100 pounds taking on a giant monster that was barely beaten by Schwarzenegger in his prime, Prey sets up the idea rather deftly. Naru is not a perfect warrior. She's actually at quite the disadvantage given her size, strength, and inexperience. Unlike many female action heroes of late, Naru isn't some kind of superhuman dynamo, great at everything and protected by the densest of plot armor. Sure, she gets lucky from time to time, but Naru fails big in the first half of Prey, which makes her second round with the monster all the more thrilling. See, that's what a lot of people were looking for in someone like Rey in the Star Wars series and tons of other female heroes that have popped up in the last few years. Give them a real challenge. Have them actually fall and fail. Then have them rise up and take the monster or challenge on after learning from their mistakes. That's what Naru does in this film, and it makes her all the more relatable and fun to watch. Some might say that the 80s action heroes had the same kind of plot armor, and that's true. They did. There were some films where the male action hero could jump through an explosion without a scratch, land on their 2 feet, and then solve a riddle or get the girl effortlessly. That was bad writing then, and it's bad when it happens today. That's what made Predator so good, as the alien minced his way through an entire squadron of trained military specialists with heavy hardware. None of the muscle and steel helped Dutch defeat the Predator. It was his wits. He had to outthink it, and that's exactly what Naru does in Prey. Just like Dutch, she knows she can't beat this thing physically, so she uses her know-how of the environment and keen observational skills to even try to stand a chance against this monster. It helps that this is a star-making role for Amber Midthunder, who I fell for when she appeared as Carrie, the adrenaline junkie mutant in the Legion series. Midthunder, and man, how cool a name is that, is fun to watch. She's got these giant eyes that flare whiter as if she really loves and lives for this shit. Midthunder is one to watch, and I honestly can't wait to see where this role takes her. The Predator itself, this time played by Dane DeLiegro, is enormous and wonderfully realized. Labeled the feral predator, this monster uses some classic weaponry, but also some new gadgets to take on its prey. All of these weapons, be it the retractable shield or the crossbow bolt gun, work marvelously juxtaposed against the primitive landscape of the battlefield. Though its tech definitely gives the predator the advantage, its rage seems to be this predator's greatest flaw. More so than most of the other predators, this one takes a hell of a beating and keeps on clicking and ah-ah-ahing. I did miss the mimic tech that had been such a huge part of Predator lore. It's an iconic element that I think would have added to the tension had the Predator attempted to fool its prey out from hiding by mimicking a wounded deer, a snarling bear, or even Naru's pet dog for that matter. Missed opportunity there. Prey is not perfect. While I like the way it got metaphorical by showing the predator and prey roles in nature through various species of animals taking each other out, I think those scenes were a little bit too on the nose and repeated maybe one too many times. Occasionally, the CG is a bit dodgy, especially during these animal sequences. I also think that the resolution, while bringing Naru's story to a close, really doesn't give much closure as to why this particular area was chosen for a hunting ground by the predators, how a certain pistol ends up in the hands of the predators later, and more importantly, what happens to the predator's ship after all of this. Maybe Trachtenberg left room for that to be dealt with in a direct sequel, which I would wholeheartedly support. While Predator was pretty much the most perfect action horror movie ever made, Prey is a close runner-up. I have a fondness for Predator 2, but that's far from the level of perfection of the original. Prey is a return to form. It's man, or in this case woman, against nature, against the ultimate hunter. Like the original, it hits the ground running and never slows down for more than a few minutes. This is a rapid-fire chase from start to finish. Sure, one might argue that the female Comanche might not have been permitted to hunt and fight like the rest of the boys, but this film does a decent job of addressing what is expected of Naru and how she fights against it. Let's just say that it's much more plausible the way this story plays out. I had a blast with Prey, and I hope Trachtenberg and Midthunder return to take on more Predators. With so many unresolved issues, a talented cast, Trachtenberg's wonderful handling of cohesive and daring action, and of course some gory, gobby, deboning and dismemberments here and there, Prey is a worthy successor, and for the first time I was pumped after watching a Predator movie since I saw the original in the theaters long ago.
You're doomed to live the life you're meant to be, stuck inside